If this video doesn't help you lose weight, I want you to never watch me again. I'm serious. Because after helping 250 people lose 25 to 40 pounds, I realized something. Almost nobody has a weight loss problem. They have a body that's trying to protect them. And the crazy part is, the harder they try to lose weight, the harder their body fights back. Keto, fasting, counting calories, cutting carbs, eating less, more cardio. You've probably tried at least one of these. Heck, maybe all of them. And maybe they even worked for a little while. Then somehow the weight came back. Sometimes with a few extra pounds. And then everyone always just tells you the same thing. We need more discipline. And I don't believe that at all. I think you've been asking your body to do something and then teaching it to do the exact opposite. Because here's what nobody explains. Losing belly fat isn't just about not eating too much. It's about the signals you've been giving your body every single day. And those signals are teaching your body one of two things. Either food is coming and you can build, or food isn't reliable. We have to survive. Guess which one stores fat? Today, I'm going to show you why almost every diet fails, why your body isn't broken, how most people are eating completely backwards, and the one system I've showed hundreds of people to get them to stop fighting their bodies and finally get it to work with. Because I don't want you leaving this video with just another diet. You should leave with a completely different way of thinking. A way of thinking that'll have you never having to worry about gaining fat ever again. So before you click away, give me the next few minutes. And if I'm wrong, never watch another video I make. Now, let's get into it. We all typically love dogs, right? Most of us. I want you to imagine something. If you have a dog, imagine your dog. If you don't have a dog, just imagine some dog you would like in your head right now. All right, so get that dog in your head. Now imagine every day at 6 o'clock, you feed your dog. Day after day, week after week. What happens? By 5:50, that dog is sitting right at the bowl. Why? Because as we know, dogs learn what to expect. Now, imagine something different. One day you feed the dog at 6. The next day you forget to feed the dog. The day after that, you just feed him crumbs. Then 2 more days go by with nothing. Then you dump a huge bowl of food in front of him. What do you think happens then? You think the dog just eats the same amount calmly and just walks away? No, obviously. The dog's really hungry, so it's going to eat the food really fast. It's going to eat a lot of it because the dog doesn't know when food's going to come again. Your body works the same way, and it's not a weakness, right? It's actually really smart. Here's the biggest lie in the fitness industry. They say your body doesn't care when you eat. Calories are all that matters. If that were true, why do you get hungry at about the same exact time every single day? Why do shift workers have higher rates of obesity and type 2 diabetes than people with regular schedules? Why does jet lag completely throw off your appetite? And the answer would be to that, because your body doesn't just track how much you eat. It also learns when to expect it. You see, our body loves patterns. And when those patterns disappear, it prepares for uncertainty. Think about your phone. When the battery gets low, it switches into low power mode. Well, of course, mine never does because I keep it charged, unlike my wife, Kelsey. Sorry to throw you under the bus. But anyway, the screen gets darker, right? Apps start to slow down. Some things stop running altogether. You see, nothing is broken, right? It's just protecting the battery. Your body does the exact same thing. When you keep skipping meals and cutting calories, starting another diet every Monday, your brain starts thinking, well, food isn't dependable. So it does what it's designed to do. It protects you, not from getting fat, but from starving. And I would know this better than anybody. You see, freshman year of college, I needed to bulk up like seriously. Now to a normal person, I just looked like a decent kid who was in shape. But I knew if I was gonna be playing football, I was way too skinny. But you see, like most people, a common dilemma that I had is I didn't want to gain all this fat by just bulking and eating a bunch of food so I could put on more weight. You see, my thought process was probably like yours or most people. I was saying I just needed to work out a whole bunch, eat really, really lean, and somehow I was just going to put on more muscle mass. And I'm sure at this point you could probably guess that didn't work out very well for me. I was extremely frustrated. I did not gain any significant weight. And the little weight I did gain, I just gained it around my midsection. So I knew I needed to find a different approach. So what did I do differently? I started eating breakfast, and not just like a yogurt and a bagel, the real breakfast, eggs, bacon, yogurt, a cup of milk, whatever I could get my hands on, you name it. And you know what happened? No, I didn't get fat. In about 4 months, I put on 30 pounds of lean mass. I went from being a $180 to a 220 pound phenom. Now, phenom might be a bit of a stretch actually, but I got in really, really good shape. And the crazy part about it all is my body fat percentage actually went from 18% to 13%. I realized I didn't need another diet. I needed to send a different message to my body. Now, does this mean that calories don't matter? Of course not. Calories absolutely matter. But here's what most people won't tell you. Calories are the math. Biology decides how your body responds to that math. That's why 2 people can eat the same amount of calories and get completely different results. The person who gets the desired results has a body that's ready to build. The person who struggles and is frustrated with their results has a body that's built on survival. That is the key difference. And once you understand what's causing your body to choose one way over the other, that's when everything changes. Because the biggest reason belly fat sticks around has almost nothing to do with your stomach. It starts in your brain. Let's talk about it. A few minutes ago, I told you that your body isn't trying to make you fat, right? It's just trying to keep you alive. Now, let's talk about why the extra weight almost always ends up right here. Because it isn't random. Your body is making a decision. And from its point of view, it's actually the smartest decision. Imagine if you were crazy enough to decide to hike across the desert and you only have room to carry one backpack. What are you going to fill it with? Extra shoes, a laptop, a big 85-inch TV? Of course not. You're going to obviously pack the things that are going to keep you alive. Water, food, supplies. And yes, I know I say water weird, just get over it, but your body thinks the same way. Body fat is like your emergency backpack. It's stored energy. It's your body's way of saying, if food gets scarce, we got something. You see, the problem isn't that your body stores fat. The problem really is that you keep teaching it that another famine is coming. Just think about how a normal person diets. They skip breakfast, then they drink a bunch of coffee, which kills their appetite. They eat almost nothing all day, and then when they finally sit down at night, they devour their biggest meal of the day. Most people think that's some kind of discipline. Your brain calls that unpredictable. Here's something most people never think about. Your stomach doesn't actually decide if you lose fat or not. And your muscles don't either. Your brain does. Your brain is like the CEO of the company. It has one job. Keep the company alive. It doesn't care if you have abs or what the scale says. It only cares about one thing, survival. So if food keeps showing up late or not at all, your brain starts making some cuts. I'm talking about some major chapter 11 stuff. Let's save energy. Let's protect fat. Let's make him or her hungrier at night. It's literally trying to do everything it can to protect you. Now, let me break out something that researchers have known for a while. Let me get my bifocals here. Just kidding. These are blue light glasses. They're a lifesaver too. FYI. And here's something researchers have known for years. When people repeatedly cut calories and lose weight, the body often responds by increasing hunger hormones like ghrelin, lowering fullness signals like leptin, and reducing the amount of energy burned throughout the day. This is one reason why maintaining weight loss is so challenging after repeated dieting. Now, in simple English, your body starts whispering, move less, save what we got. All because it thinks it's helping you. Now, here's where almost everyone gets it backwards. People think they need to teach their body how to lose fat. You don't. You really need to teach your brain that it doesn't need to protect your body anymore. And that's where everything changed for me. Because I stopped asking, how do I burn more fat while I build muscle? And I started asking, what signals tell my body it's safe enough to finally let go? That question led me to completely change how I coach people. But before I show you all that, there's one more mistake almost everyone makes, and it quietly destroys metabolism every single week. Let's talk about muscle. So if your brain is protecting belly fat, the question really is, how do we get it to stop? Well, you definitely don't want to keep starving it, and you don't want to punish it. You teach it something different. Think about this. If you walked into work tomorrow and your boss doubled your paycheck, what would you do? Would you start looking for another job? Probably not, because you feel secure. I mean, look at the money you just got. You just got a big check, and you know there's probably more like that coming in the future. Our bodies are no different. When it knows some food is coming, it stops acting like every meal is our last. Now, the thing about muscle, people think it's important because it burns a few extra calories. That's true, but that's not the biggest reason why it's important. The actual big reason is because muscle tells your brain we're not just surviving anymore. It tells it we're building, while we're on the topic of that. Think about a business, since I've used that like in every analogy today. When would a company expand and hire more workers? Obviously, when more revenue is coming in and the company can afford to hire more people. Your body won't keep expensive muscle, aka employees, if it knows revenue isn't consistent and isn't growing. That's why lifting weights without properly fueling your body only gets you so far. You're sending two completely different messages. Your workout says we're building, but your eating says we're in a famine. And your brain has to choose one. And guess which one wins? Survival, every single time. This is why I don't tell my clients just to eat less. I teach them to eat more, earlier, and consistent, and in a way that actually matches how the body really works. That is when I developed the 3-2-1 eating method. Not because it's trendy, but because it's biology. If you don't already know, here's how it works. The 3 represents 30% of our daily caloric intake at breakfast, the other 30% at lunch. The 2 represents 20%. That's 20% of your daily caloric intake at dinner. The 1 represents 10%. That remaining 20% right of your daily caloric intake, trust me, I know how to do math, is split up into 10%, one snack between breakfast and lunch, and another snack between lunch and dinner. Very simple, but don't confuse simple with ineffective. Because eating like this, every single meal sends your brain a message. Breakfast says we're safe. Lunch says food is still coming. Snacks between meals say no need to panic. And dinner says recover while you sleep. Now our brains aren't wondering when the next meal is coming. It already knows. As I said earlier, most people eat backwards. Coffee in the morning, maybe a protein bar, even that. Nothing for hours. Then eat half their calories after work. Really think about that. You spend all day asking your body to do work without giving it much fuel. Then you give it its biggest meal right before you lay down and stop moving. That's like taking your car on a road trip and just running it until it has no gas at all. And then at the end of the trip, when you get home, you start filling the car up with gas. It obviously would have been much more useful at the beginning. The body is no different. It needs more fuel when you're actually living and going through your day, not when you're laying your head down to sleep. Now I got some more signs for you. Let me get my focus. Here's some signs for you. Your body tends to handle carbohydrates better earlier in the day because insulin sensitivity is generally higher in the morning and declines later in the evening. Studies have also shown that eating a larger share of daily calories earlier can improve blood sugar control, appetite regulation, and support fat loss compared with eating most calories late at night. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean you can never eat dinner. It means your body likes rhythm. It likes consistency. It wants to know what to expect and when to expect it. And when you finally give it that, amazing things start to happen. Your energy gets better. Your cravings get quieter, your workouts and your recovery drastically improve. And over time, your body finally starts letting go of all that fat that it was trying to protect. And this actually reminds me of my client, Nate. He had a very similar issue, would do nothing but drink coffee and diet drinks early in the morning. When I introduced the 3-2-1 eating method to him, he was very fearful and hesitant because like most people, he was taught that eating a lot in the morning was going to make you fat. Within 6 weeks, he was already noticing a drastic improvement in his energy, his focus, fewer cravings, his workouts were drastically improving, and he lost so much belly fat he had to buy new clothes. Within 90 days, he was down 25 pounds. All that change happened not because he became more disciplined, but because his body finally was able to trust him. Now, you might be wondering, Omega, if eating early matters and lifting weight matters, what should I do tomorrow morning? And you're good for wondering that, because I don't want you to leave this video just feeling inspired. I want you to leave with an actual plan. Now let's build it. So what should you actually do tomorrow? Not on Monday, not next Monday, not after you finish eating your cheat meals, but tomorrow. Because if you made it this far into the video, I don't want you leaving with motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. I want you to leave with a new direction. Tomorrow morning, do 3 simple things. Eat a real breakfast, not a coffee, not a protein bar, and not even just a protein shake, if you can help it. Get in quality carbohydrates like sweet potatoes or berries, good healthy fats. Eggs are a great source. Avocado, Greek yogurt if you like it. And of course, a great protein source. Not just bacon, I'm talking beef, eggs. And yes, eggs are a good source of protein and fat. This teaches your brain that food is here. You don't have to panic today. This is what's going to lower your cortisol, so your body is not constantly in a stress-induced state. Number 2, lift weights, heavy. This tells your body that muscle matters, so don't get rid of it. Focus on your compound lift, bench, squat, deadlift. Move on to single joint or isolation movements. That's your curls, your tricep extensions, your calf raisers, your leg extensions or leg curls. And then finish with some form of high intensity or cardio activity. That could be the treadmill or assault bike or some form of circuit. Because remember, cardio tells the body to burn calories. Muscle actually changes the body that's burning them. And number 3, stop trying to earn your food. You don't have to suffer before you deserve food or breakfast. You don't have to starve all day because you ate pizza last night. And you sure as heck don't need to punish yourself every Monday because you enjoyed your weekend. That's not health. That's guilt dressed up in a fitness costume. Think about your loved one, your son, your daughter, your mom, your dad, or your brother or sister. Would you want them living with a mentality like this? Of course not. So why do we think it's okay to do it to ourselves? Here's what changed my life and hundreds of others. I stopped asking, how little can I eat? And I started asking, how can I build the healthiest body possible? Stop building your body and your life around fear and start building it around rhythm and purpose. One creates survival, the other creates growth. Your body will always move towards the direction that you give it every single day. I don't believe your body's broken. I believe it's very intelligent. Every decision that it's making today and every day up to this point makes sense based all on what you taught it. Every skipped meal, every crash diet, one huge meal before bedtime, it's been learning all of it. But the good news, it can learn something new. Think about planting a tree. You don't dump 50 gallons of water on it Sunday and then ignore it the other 6 days. You water it again and again because that's how things grow, and our bodies are no different. It doesn't need another extreme. It just needs consistency. If this video changed the way you think about fat loss, I want you to leave a comment below. Not for the algorithm, although it definitely helps the algorithm, but because I want you to make a decision that finally serves you. You're done chasing diets, and you're finally going to start to build a body that works for you, no longer against you. And if you know someone who's been stuck in the same cycle, send them this video. It might save them years of frustration. Because here's what I want you to remember. Your body is always listening. The only question is, what are you teaching it? I'll see you on the next one.